evening, everyone. It's Eloy from Quailer 100. Thank you for joining me. Here's the update on, you know what? Yesterday I forgot to tell you what day it was. And I think today it is May 12th, 2020, and it's 6:01 p.m. Thank you for joining me. Please remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching. So, on with the international news. We have hit over 4 million. Uh, um, Confirmed cases. We have over 256,000 deaths. May they rest in peace. The United still has the most. We have over 1.3 million and over 60. I think it's now 67,000 or 70,000. Sorry, I'm not accurate there. 75,000. Worldwide, there's hello, ma'am. Hello, Miss Cello Alta. I am enjoying your videos, ma'am. I hope you're cooking wonderful, good food tonight. And yes, thank you for joining. Worldwide, I think I was reading somewhere that the Philippines, there are going to be a lot of GCQs. General community quarantine, including Isabela and Pampanga. So I guess there's going to be. I guess that's good. So comment below if that's actually a bad thing. Let's see. So the worldwide, United Kingdom is still number 2, and then still Russia, I think, isn't really far behind. There are, I guess, a lot of companies racing to do the vaccine. None have been approved yet. As I mentioned yesterday, China and South Korea are actually have more have new cases. Oh. Miss Chela Alta says we are still under ECQ, sir. Oh, I think you guys are going to be in GCQ soon. That's what I saw on the news. So you might want to check it out. I think it's the next couple of days, because I saw that in the Philippines and Singapore that it's actually flattening up the curve. So they're actually thinking that around, I think, is it June 20 or May 20, that you guys are going to actually, I think June 20th, I think you might be able to. Actually, it'll be. It's good news. Sorry, I actually forgot the actual report. I've been forgetting a lot lately. Somebody said hi to me today, and I forgot her name. She's one of the clerks from another clinic, and for the life of me, I couldn't remember her name. I thought it was Carrie, Cassie, Connie, and it turns out her name was Kelly. So yeah, I was going nuts. I was just trying to think all day. I'm thinking, oh man, I'm just not. I'm having a senior moment there. So anyway, what was I talking about? There, just like that. So yeah, I think there's the news. There was actually an article in Singapore. Actually, it showed a graph of the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. It's basically Southeast Asia. The most promising is in Singapore. I think Malaysia is next, and then Philippines, and then Indonesia. I think Indonesia is still. I think they're thinking that they're gonna hit a downslope, or it's gonna flatten out, and around. I think theirs might be around July, August, whereas the Philippines, I think, is like June, July. And in Singapore, I guess, probably going to be in the next couple of weeks. So anyway, so that's kind of the news. I was looking at flights yesterday from California to the Philippines. Very few airlines are flying to Clark, and I think just as few going to Manila, Ninoy Aquino International Airport. The prices are really, really high. It's about $1,500 from LAX to Clark via Korean Airlines and Asiana. And can you imagine what Philippine Airlines is going to be like? So Japan Airlines is actually has planes that'll go to LAX, from LAX to Japan, and then onto the Philippines. So we'll see if there's anything available. So hopefully things will open up. As far as I'll get to LA in a little bit. So as far as the United States, people are getting restless. The 20% that are gonna screw things up will cause 80% of the problems. They want a lot of things open. Actually, the they want to open the restaurants and everything. But for right now, it's a lot of delivery. LA area, which has 13 million people, is seeing a rise in cases, and in both confirmed cases and deaths. So hopefully, I think they're saying that we're probably going to be looking at this to be extended around July, maybe even August, with this social distancing. And But I think it's a push and a pull, and there, Dr. Fauci, with his who testified in Congress today, was saying that we shouldn't really open too soon. But I don't think he's opposed to opening. I think he just wants more information. I think, which is actually good. I think a lot of countries need to look at that information, and it's the same thing in California. Elon Musk, that douchebag, opened his Tesla car manufacturing company in Fremont, California, daring to be arrested. I think they should arrest his ass. I think they should body slam him and just knock some teeth out of this guy, because this guy is getting to be ridiculous. It's just, and I hear he's a jackass to work for, because I have a couple of patients who work for him, and I hear, he's a slave driver. He's a cracker. He cracks the whip. So is that racist? Probably was, but I wasn't. Yeah. Anyway, you deal with that way with. Do with it with whatever you want. If you want to call it racist, whatever, that's fine. But but Elon Musk is just, he's a douchebag. So you should see the latest pictures with this guy. So anyway, my son doesn't really like him at all. Yeah, and not a lot of people like him. My son calls him a spoiled brat. So Elon Musk is trying to do that. He says, "Go ahead and arrest me." Yeah, he disagrees with a lot of things, and yeah, so that's the state of California. We're trying to. I think the government is trying to do it slow and just not overdo it. I think they're trying to take. They're trying to look at what happened in the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic, where we actually had a second wave, and the second wave was worse than the first when they opened up too soon. And I think that's they just don't want history to be repeated. And in LA, we haven't even hit the plateau on the curve yet. So we're still like I said, having increased cases and deaths. And yeah, and so the I think what the mayor has been planning is that they're going to try and open up more business, but those business are going to have like drive-through. So I guess there were about over the weekend, which was Mother's Day, a lot of florists open up, and I think they cited about 74 businesses, and they're misdemeanors. So, and I think they have a $1,000 fine, or you can actually get up to like 6 months in jail. So I don't think they're really pushing for the jail. And speaking of the jail, so I guess a lot of the inmates at the local jail, I forget which one it is. I don't think it's LA County. I think it's but what they're doing. So there's a program by the government to release a lot of prisoners, if they actually or inmates, if they test positive and they think they're low risk, they will release them. And actually, they've been doing that. People, inmates who actually who aren't even tested, or did not test positive, they were actually released because they didn't want overcrowding. So the and inmates being inmates, those guys are really crafty. They're and that's all they do is think about things to do in jail. So they were actually there were groups of them who were actually sharing masks, and they were caught in video. They were sharing masks and they were sharing drinks, which is supposed to be forbidden. I guess one inmate cannot share the same cup. So they were, I guess, they were really they were sharing the mask, passing it around, and trying to breathe really deep. And they were drinking out of the same cup, and then they were just touching, and they were socially distancing. So, and these guys got busted, and it turns out that they want to be part of the early release. Unfortunately, a lot of these are they have sexual they're predators, sexual predators. They have a lot of rapes, child molestation cases, and drug dealers, etc. So they're thinking these are guys that don't need to be out on the streets, but here they are trying to find ways. So going back to the businesses, so they're passing an ordinance where if you have a business and you can have a pickup service, they're going to give you two spaces, and you can't park. The clientele can't park for more than 10 minutes in those spots. So it'll be like it's supposed to be drive in and then drive out, pick up your merchandise and stuff like that. So that's what's going on. So at work, I think I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, so we have a couple of new providers, two nurse practitioners. They're travelers. They're getting shitloads of money. They're being put up in Beverly Hills, and the other one in some other town. I guess he didn't do so well. I think he's probably at a Best Western. So they're being accommodated to be working with us for 120 days. These two guys don't really, I guess not a lot of people have good opinions about them. And this is one of the guys that actually Keith, who has the same last name as the capital of Alabama. I won't tell you what that is. You can figure that out. You can tell me downstairs, down below, what his last name might be. So he's the guy that I actually somehow inhaled his breath, and now my freaking nose is actually just burning and still. So yeah, so where's the good news, right? So that's one of the things that actually is not the good news. I think I'm going to be okay. I think I'm just it's you ever get that thing when you're just like it's psychological now. Your headaches, your head's hurting, and your nose is running, and you feel like that soreness in the back of your throat because you're like you're trying you're trying to blow your nose. So these guys they don't have access to the computer system, the charting, and so they were one of them was following me today. Keith was, and this guy is just trying to be sweeter than honey. I think he's trying to. He brought in donuts today. I think he's trying to kiss ass. They've already told me that's what he seems like. This guy's just a little too sappy. So anyway, I told the medical director, I said, hey, you know what? This guy's been following me. I've shown him everything that I could. I said he needs to go get his password and he needs to go for a test drive, check it out, start ordering things. And then the medical director says, well, he says I have nothing to do with it. Says he says we don't know what to do. Just what do you think we should do? I think somehow either she said it or I said it. I said, well, what about COVID screening? We can put them downstairs. They can do the COVID screening. They don't have to do anything. They just need to gown up, and we can say PPE. They just wear it all day, stick swabs in people's noses, send it for analysis, and boom. It's a win-win situation. They don't have computer access. They're getting shitloads of money, and we're going to have them do what people don't want to do. Problem solved. It's not as easy as that, so I don't know if they're actually going to do that. So that's that. So my nurse Josie, her husband, this isn't good news. It sucks. So Josie's husband was lifting a lot of weights, I guess the day before or yesterday, and I guess he was doing like 35 pounds, and his technique wasn't really all the best, and so my nurse actually said, yeah, take some Motrin. It didn't help any. Says take some Tylenol. So I ended up with chills, with sweats, and so that's kind of weird. Why would you have sweats with Tylenol? And I guess he wasn't really doing. He still was hurting. Because we thought because he was lifting weights that he maybe pulled a muscle or something. So she told him to use ice compress. He put ice compress, and he says the pain went all the way down from his armpit all the way down to his lower rib cage. And and I said, Josie, I think you should call his doctor. So I guess he messaged yesterday, and he told his doctor he was getting better, which pissed Josie off because every time Josie comes home, the husband bitches and whines that he's hurting, is this, is that, and then when he emails his doctor, he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm just a little sore and I'm actually getting better." So that got her pissed. So Josie ended up going home today because I guess her husband was still was still complaining. And I said, yeah, I said, you need to go get him seen. You need to go get him checked out. I said, make sure he doesn't have pneumothorax. So she goes and they get an urgent care. Oh, I know. I guess he gets an appointment for this afternoon. So she leaves home early. They go to the appointment. So she texts me before I get home and says her husband is actually, her right lung is filled with pneumonia. I said, "Oh shit, son of a bitch!" In like a couple of days, sorry, what did I say? 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago. It is his right lung is full of pneumonia. So she says, "I think he's going to be admitted." I'm thinking, huh, Josie? He should be admitted. So this is probably why the Tylenol. He ended up sweating a lot. It probably broke his fever. And yeah, so poor guy. So I hope he does okay. The thoughts and prayers go out to them. She says, "Oh, I won't be in tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be in the COVID room. I'll be screening with my mofo LVN has been acting like a jackass lately. Uh, wow, I'm turning into a bitchy person too. Anyway, so he's going to be doing all three of them. I hope I get some help. Or otherwise, it's going to be me and him. And this guy's an idiot. So I'll give you more information. Sorry if I'm very disparaging. I just take it with a grain of salt. I am not really pissed. I'm just really like, oh boy, this guy's like, oh, what is that? The emoji? Is there an emoji like this? Yeah. So yeah. So that's the bad. It's not the end of the world, but so that's where I'll be. And so I guess I'll end it here. I was actually hoping that I could have some fun stuff, but I tried yesterday. It didn't work out. I'm going to try today. It didn't work out. So I'm going to keep trying. So I'm going to try and make this a little lighthearted and maybe start having some funny pictures when I go live, the latest funny thing. So with that, have a good night. Take care. Hope. Yeah, you stay safe. So bye for now.